In astrology, Mars holds a prominent position as the planet of action, energy, courage, and determination. Represented by the fiery red planet, Mars is renowned for its bold, aggressive, and unrelenting nature. It symbolizes the raw power that fuels our ambitions, drives our actions, and sustains our ability to overcome obstacles. Often referred to as the warrior of the Zodiac, Mars is associated with the divine archetype of strength, discipline, and warfare. Mars' influence in a horoscope reflects an individual's willpower, physical energy, assertiveness, and approach to handling challenges. Whether it manifests as constructive courage or destructive aggression depends on its placement, sign, aspects, and conjunctions within the birth chart. Mars signifies physical vitality, strength, and stamina, making it the significator of energy and action. It governs the muscles, blood, and the immune system, determining the vitality of the body and its capacity to endure hardships. Individuals with a strong Mars are often seen as brave, goal-oriented, and adventurous, ready to take risks and confront adversities head-on. They are driven to achieve, protect, and compete, embodying qualities like leadership and determination. However, an afflicted or weak Mars can manifest as impulsiveness, recklessness, violence, or anger issues, disrupting harmony in both personal and professional spheres. In the planetary cabinet, Mars is seen as a commander-in-chief, instilling a warrior-like zeal in individuals. Its energy is that of fire, action, and motion, propelling one toward accomplishment. Mars' influence is not confined to mere aggression. It also governs discipline, self-control, and the ability to channel passion toward productive ends. It is the planet that provides the courage to initiate tasks, face fears, and take calculated risks in life. Without the energy of Mars, the enthusiasm to pursue goals and ambitions would be absent. Hence, Mars' placement in a horoscope often determines the drive and motivation one carries in life. Mars rules two zodiac signs in astrology, Aries and Scorpio. Aries, a fire sign, represents the dynamic, impulsive, and action-oriented side of Mars. It highlights the pioneering spirit, enthusiasm, and desire to lead. Scorpio, on the other hand, is a water sign, representing the more intense, strategic, and transformative aspects of Mars. In Scorpio, Mars' energy becomes deep, powerful, and magnetic, capable of sustained effort and inner transformation. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, where its energy becomes disciplined, focused, and capable of achieving tangible results. In contrast, Mars is debilitated in Cancer, where its assertive energy becomes emotional, vulnerable, and less effective. As a fiery planet, Mars governs heat and energy, making it pivotal in professions related to fire, weapons, and tools. Chefs, soldiers, engineers, and athletes often owe their passion and determination to a strong Mars in their charts. Its association with fire also links Mars to the kitchen of any home, and to industries that rely on heat and transformation. Mars' connection to heat has profound implications for health. Fever, for instance, is the body's natural defense mechanism to combat infections, a phenomenon linked to Mars' protective energy. In this sense, Mars acts as both a shield and a sword, defending the body while equipping it to fight external threats. Mars' energy, though powerful, requires careful channeling. Mars' fiery nature can create or destroy, depending on how it is utilized. Practices such as grounding, meditation, and physical exercise can help harmonize Mars' energy. The houses Mars occupies in a birth chart play a crucial role in determining how its energy manifests in an individual's life. Each house represents specific aspects of life, and Mars' presence in any house amplifies its themes, infusing them with energy, intensity, and action. For example, Mars in the first house makes a person bold, competitive, and energetic, while Mars in the fourth house may bring challenges to domestic peace or relationships with the mother. Regardless of the house it occupies, Mars brings a desire to act, assert, and conquer, which can be directed toward constructive or destructive outcomes depending on the overall planetary influences. One of the key attributes of Mars is its aspectual influence, which has a unique pattern in astrology. Unlike some planets that aspect only the 7th house from their placement, Mars also aspects the 4th, 7th, and 8th houses from its position. These aspects highlight areas of life where Mars' energy is directed, often intensifying the themes of those houses. For instance, Mars' 4th aspect represents control and dominance, while its 8th aspect brings transformation, challenges, or sudden events. This unique pattern makes Mars a dynamic and powerful force in shaping an individual's life journey. Mars is also associated with aggression, anger, and conflict, which, if uncontrolled, can lead to disputes, injuries, or accidents. A poorly placed or afflicted Mars may manifest as impatience, impulsivity, and a tendency to act without foresight. It can indicate challenges in relationships, especially in marriage, as Mars governs desire and passion. This is particularly evident when Mars occupies certain houses, 1st, 4th, 7th, 8th, or 12th. These placements are believed to create difficulties in marital harmony, though its impact is mitigated by balancing planetary influences or performing certain remedies. On a spiritual level, Mars represents the warrior-like discipline necessary for self-mastery and inner growth. This highlights Mars' potential for transformation, both on a physical and spiritual plane. Individuals with a well-placed Mars often possess the drive to excel in physical pursuits like sports, martial arts, or fitness, while also displaying the inner discipline required for spiritual practices like meditation. In relationships, Mars represents passion, desire, and sexual energy. It determines how assertive, protective, or dominant an individual may be in their relationships. A strong Mars brings attraction, chemistry, and excitement, while an afflicted Mars can lead to arguments, possessiveness, or dominance issues. For this reason, understanding Mars placement is crucial in analyzing compatibility in astrology. With these contexts in mind, let us delve into the predictions for Mars in different houses, without considering the influence of signs, nakshatra placements, conjunctions, or aspects. Mars in the first house of a birth chart imbues a native with intense energy, assertiveness, and a competitive spirit. The first house governs the self, personality, and physical appearance, making the placement of Mars here highly significant. Mars, representing courage, strength, and willpower, deeply influences how an individual approaches life, how they perceive themselves, and how they are perceived by others. This placement often produces individuals who are dynamic, fearless, and ready to tackle challenges head-on, embodying the archetype of a warrior in both physical and metaphorical battles. A person with Mars in the first house typically exudes a powerful presence. They are go-getters with boundless energy, always striving to take action and achieve their goals. This assertive nature often makes them natural leaders, but it can also intimidate others or make them appear domineering. Such individuals are inclined towards physical activities and are often drawn to athletics, martial arts, or professions that require physical exertion. Their physical energy and drive can manifest as a strong inclination to maintain fitness, often channeling their efforts into building and strengthening their bodies. However, this abundant energy comes with its challenges. Mars in the first house often makes individuals prone to impulsiveness and quick anger. They may struggle to control their temper, leading to conflicts in personal and professional relationships. The fiery nature of Mars can make them confrontational and impatient, and they must work to temper their aggression to avoid alienating others. Their competitive streak can sometimes lead to disputes, particularly with siblings or male friends, as Mars also governs these relationships. These traits underline the importance of spiritual practices or meditation to balance Mars' fiery energy and cultivate a sense of calm. Mars in the first house also highlights the influence of siblings and male friends in shaping the native's personality and life path. Brothers and male friends often play pivotal roles in their lives, either as sources of inspiration or as catalysts for personal growth. For women, Mars can represent their partner, further emphasizing the importance of this planet in their relationships and personality development. From the first house, Mars aspects the 4th, 7th, and 8th houses, influencing these areas of life significantly. The aspect on the 4th house makes individuals fiercely protective of their home and family. They may feel a strong sense of duty to safeguard their loved ones, often taking on the role of a defender or caretaker. This placement may also cause disputes within the home, particularly if Mars is afflicted, as its aggressive nature can disrupt domestic harmony. The 7th house aspect underscores their protective and sometimes dominating nature in marriage and partnerships. These individuals often take their marital responsibilities seriously, standing as stalwart defenders of their spouse and marital happiness. However, the aggressive tendencies of Mars can also lead to conflicts or power struggles within the relationship. Learning to approach partnerships with patience and understanding is essential to cultivating harmony in their personal lives. Mars' aspect on the 8th house brings an interest in the occult, mysticism, and the deeper mysteries of life. These individuals may possess a strong desire to delve into hidden knowledge, exploring spiritual practices or esoteric sciences. This placement can also make them resilient in the face of adversity, giving them the strength to confront life's uncertainties and challenges with courage. However, they must guard against impulsiveness or recklessness, especially when dealing with matters related to finances or shared resources, as these areas are also governed by the 8th house. The physical manifestation of Mars in the first house is often visible. Individuals with this placement may exhibit certain physical traits, such as a robust build, a commanding presence, and noticeable facial features like scars, moles, or birthmarks. If Mars is placed in a fiery sign, such as Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, it can exacerbate these traits, potentially causing issues like acne, cuts, or burns on the face. They may also experience a constant sense of internal heat, with warm palms and a heightened metabolic rate. These physical characteristics further underscore the need for balance, which can be achieved through diets, regular exercise, and mindfulness practices. As Mars matures at the age of 28, its influence often becomes more constructive. The native may achieve recognition, wealth, and stability in their personal and professional life, provided they have learned to channel their energy effectively. A well-placed and positively aspect Mars can bestow courage, resilience, and a strong sense of justice, making the individual a staunch protector of the weak and an advocate for fairness. Such individuals are likely to take bold initiatives and excel in their chosen fields, particularly in roles requiring physical strength or leadership. However, an afflicted Mars in the first house can pose significant challenges. It may lead to frequent injuries, particularly to the head, and a tendency to attract conflicts. These individuals may also struggle with maintaining stable relationships, as their aggressive or confrontational nature can strain interpersonal dynamics. Mars also signifies the ability to take decisive actions and focus energy toward achieving results. Individuals with Mars in the first house often see tangible outcomes from their efforts, particularly when they invest their energy wisely. Whether it is in their career, fitness, or personal ambitions, their drive and determination enable them to accomplish remarkable feats. Careers related to physical activities, such as athletes, soldiers, firefighters, or even entrepreneurs in competitive industries, are well suited for these individuals. Their passion and competitive spirit make them natural achievers in high-pressure environments. The overall impact of Mars in the first house depends significantly on the sign, nakshatra, and aspects it receives from other planets. For instance, a fiery sign like Aries enhances Mars' boldness and aggression, while an earthy sign like Taurus may ground its energy. The conjunctions and aspects from benefic planets like Jupiter or Venus can soften Mars' intensity, fostering a more balanced and harmonious personality. Overall, Mars in the first house is a potent placement that bestows the native with vitality, courage, and determination. While it offers significant strengths, such as leadership qualities, a protective nature, and physical prowess, it also demands careful management of its fiery energy. Through discipline, self-awareness, and spiritual practices, individuals with this placement can harness the dynamic force of Mars to achieve success and maintain harmony in their lives. Mars in the second house in a birth chart is a placement that intensifies themes related to family, wealth, speech, values, and food. This position infuses the individual with a fiery, energetic approach toward these areas of life, often manifesting as a relentless drive to create wealth and assert themselves in familial and financial matters. However, this energy is a double-edged sword, as the aggressive and impulsive tendencies of Mars can create challenges that must be carefully managed. Individuals with Mars in the second house often exhibit a strong work ethic and a determination to achieve financial stability. Their focus on resource accumulation is intense, and they possess the capability to generate significant wealth, especially through hard work and strategic decision-making. Mars, being a planet of action and ambition, pushes them to take initiative in building their material security. However, this pursuit can sometimes be marked by impulsive financial decisions or extravagant spending habits, particularly if Mars is afflicted. They may exhibit a tendency to overspend on luxuries or indulge in excessive expenses, especially before the age of 28 when Mars is said to mature. In terms of speech, Mars in the second house brings a sharpness and directness that can be both a strength and a liability. These individuals are often forthright and unafraid to express their thoughts, but their tone can come across as aggressive or harsh, particularly in moments of anger. They may use strong or even profane language, which can create friction in relationships. The combination of Mars' fiery energy and the house of speech can lead to verbal outbursts that hurt loved ones, potentially straining familial bonds. The need for moderation and conscious communication becomes crucial for maintaining harmony within the family. The second house also governs family dynamics, and Mars here can create an environment of competition or conflict within the family. Childhood experiences may include exposure to arguments, aggressive behavior, or a sense of rivalry among family members. These individuals might feel a constant push to prove themselves or outperform siblings or other relatives. Such an upbringing can instill resilience and a fighting spirit, but it can also leave emotional scars that influence their adult relationships. In extreme cases, Mars in the second house can indicate separation from the family or the necessity to establish boundaries to preserve peace. Another prominent feature of Mars in the second house is its influence on food preferences. Individuals with this placement are often drawn to spicy, rich foods that align with Mars' fiery nature. While this preference adds zest to their culinary choices, It can also contribute to digestive imbalances or health issues like ulcers or acidity if not managed carefully. Moderating their diet and avoiding excessive consumption of such foods can help maintain their physical well-being. Mars aspects from the second house further enrich the analysis. Its fourth aspect on the fifth house instills a goal-oriented and energetic approach to education. These individuals may channel their competitive spirit into academic achievements or excel in sports and other physical activities. However, their intense focus on goals may sometimes lead to frustration if immediate results are not achieved. Mars' seventh aspect on the eighth house bestows resilience and strength to face life's uncertainties and sudden changes. This aspect also deepens their interest in mysticism, occult sciences, and research-oriented activities. While they may excel in uncovering hidden knowledge, their relationship with in-laws could be marked by tension or conflicts. The eighth aspect of Mars on the ninth house influences their outlook on religion, philosophy, and higher education. This placement can create a fundamentalist or rigid approach to personal beliefs, with fluctuating interest in spiritual or academic pursuits. These individuals may feel compelled to fight for their principles, but their aggressive stance might alienate others. Striving for balance and open-mindedness in these areas can lead to personal growth and fulfillment. Health concerns linked to Mars in the second house often involve the face, mouth, and throat. These individuals may experience injuries or conditions such as ulcers, dental issues, or oral inflammation, particularly if Mars is afflicted. The fiery energy of Mars can manifest as an inclination towards smoking or alcohol consumption, habits that may exacerbate health problems. Maintaining discipline in their lifestyle choices is essential to mitigate these risks. Mars in the second house also impacts financial relationships and partnerships. This placement often advises individuals to maintain separate financial accounts from their partners, as it may indicate potential conflicts or power struggles over shared resources. An afflicted Mars could signify situations where others attempt to control or exploit the native's finances, making it imperative to establish clear boundaries and independent financial security. Despite its challenges, Mars in the second house offers significant potential for positive outcomes when channeled constructively. These individuals can become motivational speakers or leaders, using their strong, impactful speech to inspire others. Their assertiveness and determination can be assets in professions that require decisive action, such as real estate, law enforcement, or competitive business environments. Acts of generosity, such as feeding the less fortunate or helping others overcome familial difficulties, can also amplify the benefic effects of Mars in this position. As Mars matures at the age of 28, individuals with this placement often experience greater stability in their financial and familial lives. The lessons learned from earlier challenges, such as managing impulsive behavior and tempering aggressive tendencies, contribute to their growth and maturity. Worshipping family deities or engaging in spiritual practices aligned with Mars, such as offerings to deities representing valor and protection, can further enhance the positive aspects of this placement. Overall, Mars in the second house is a placement that demands careful navigation but offers immense potential for growth and achievement. It imbues individuals with a dynamic energy that can be directed toward building wealth, fostering resilience, and pursuing goals with determination. By cultivating self-awareness, practicing moderation, and channeling their fiery nature constructively, these individuals can transform challenges into opportunities and thrive in their personal and professional lives. The third house represents communication, courage, self-efforts, siblings, short-distance travel, hobbies, and skills. When Mars occupies in a third house of a birth chart, this combination often produces individuals with a strong sense of determination, a fiery temperament, and an unrelenting drive to succeed through their own efforts. The third house, being the domain of communication, significantly shapes how individuals with Mars in this position interact with the world. These individuals often communicate with force and confidence, sometimes bordering on dominance. Their speech is sharp, direct, and thought-provoking, often grabbing attention due to its clarity and intensity. Whether through written or spoken word, these individuals have a knack for influencing others and motivating action. This placement is particularly favorable for careers that involve aggressive communication, such as law, journalism, and motivational speaking. Their ability to articulate their passions and stand up for their beliefs often earns them recognition, especially in public debates or discussions. Mars in the third house also blesses individuals with a quick mind and a knack for learning. They tend to grasp concepts rapidly, often outpacing their peers in intellectual pursuits. However, their impatience can be a double-edged sword. They detest slowness, whether in thought, speech, or action, and may become frustrated with those who cannot keep up with their pace. This impatience can sometimes lead to impulsive decision-making or abrupt communication, which may create friction in their relationships. Despite these challenges, their ability to think on their feet and adapt quickly to changing situations is a major strength. Courage and self-effort are hallmarks of Mars in the third house. These individuals are fearless in taking risks and are often the first to step into challenging situations. Their strong work ethic and self-reliance make them stand out as leaders. They possess an innate sense of self-respect and prefer to achieve success through their own efforts rather than relying on others. This placement also instills a sense of resilience. Even when faced with setbacks, they are quick to bounce back and continue their pursuit of goals. However, they may need to learn to extend the same bravery they show for others toward their own needs and aspirations. Mars' aspect on the 6th house of disputes and competition adds another layer of complexity. These individuals often find themselves embroiled in conflicts or situations requiring them to assert their dominance. While this aspect makes them excellent problem solvers and fierce competitors, it also increases the likelihood of engaging in verbal spats or arguments, particularly with coworkers or adversaries. This competitive streak can be channeled into productive avenues, such as sports, legal battles, or any field requiring strategic thinking. The aspect of Mars on the 9th house of higher learning and spirituality can lead to a tumultuous relationship with teachers or mentors. These individuals may question authority and strive to carve their own paths in matters of philosophy and higher knowledge. While this can create friction with figures of authority, it also fosters a strong sense of independence and self-guided learning. They may excel in fields where innovative thinking and breaking conventional norms are required. Mars' aspect on the 10th house of career and public image further amplifies their drive for success. These individuals are ambitious and relentless in their pursuit of professional goals. They are not afraid to challenge authority or take bold steps to achieve career milestones. This aspect also enhances their leadership abilities, making them natural candidates for roles that require assertiveness and strategic decision-making. However, their aggressive approach may sometimes create conflicts with superiors or colleagues, necessitating a balance between ambition and diplomacy. In familial and social contexts, Mars in the 3rd house influences relationships with siblings and neighbors. The placement often indicates a dynamic, and at times contentious, relationship with younger siblings. There may be a sense of rivalry or competition, particularly in childhood. However, the nature of this relationship is influenced by other planetary aspects. For example, a benefic aspect from Jupiter can mitigate conflicts and foster a more harmonious bond. Similarly, interactions with neighbors may be marked by assertive communication or even disputes, depending on the overall chart dynamics. Health and physical vitality are also influenced by this placement. Mars in the 3rd house often bestows a high level of physical energy and agility. These individuals may excel in activities that require manual dexterity, such as sports, crafts, or technical skills. However, they may also be prone to injuries, particularly to the hands, shoulders, or arms. Regular exercise and mindfulness practices can help channel their physical energy constructively while reducing the risk of accidents or injuries. Emotionally, individuals with Mars in the 3rd house may struggle with anger and impatience. Their sharp words and fiery temperament can sometimes alienate those around them, especially during conflicts. Learning to temper their emotions and adopt a more measured approach to communication can significantly improve their relationships. Activities like walking or engaging in creative hobbies can serve as effective outlets for their restless energy. Despite its challenges, Mars in the 3rd house is a position of immense potential. These individuals are natural go-getters who thrive on action and challenges. Their ability to take initiative and work tirelessly toward their goals often sets them apart in their personal and professional lives. However, they must learn to balance their fiery nature with patience and empathy, particularly in their interactions with others. Overall, Mars in the 3rd house creates individuals who are bold, intelligent, and fiercely independent. Their sharp communication skills, quick thinking, and relentless drive make them natural leaders and innovators. While their impatience and fiery temperament may create occasional hurdles, these challenges can be mitigated through self-awareness and constructive outlets for their energy. By embracing their strengths and working on their weaknesses, individuals with this placement can harness the transformative power of Mars to achieve success and leave a lasting impact on the world. Mars in the 4th house of a birth chart brings intense and dynamic energy to themes connected with home, family, mother, emotional stability, and property. As Mars represents aggression, assertiveness, and drive, its placement in the 4th house, a domain that symbolizes peace, nourishment, and comfort, can create a turbulent and active home environment. The individual may have experienced a childhood where tension, hostility, or dominance played a significant role. Mars here often indicates a home filled with verbal or physical conflicts, leading to a struggle for emotional harmony. While the 4th house typically represents the mother, Mars' influence can create a strained or contentious relationship with her, making the bond complicated. The mother may appear dominant, aggressive, or excessively disciplined, leading the individual to develop feelings of rebellion or alienation. These people often feel the need to leave their family home early in life to seek independence and emotional freedom. One significant result of Mars in the 4th house is the tendency for individuals to exert considerable energy on domestic matters, including property acquisition, real estate dealings, and home-related responsibilities. Since Mars is a natural significator of land and property, this placement can be beneficial for careers connected to real estate, construction, or land-related businesses. If Mars is well placed, such as in Aries or Scorpio, this energy can be directed constructively, helping the individual accumulate assets like homes, vehicles, or real estate properties. However, if afflicted, Mars can create losses or disputes regarding land, leading to legal battles or challenges in securing stable ownership. There is a strong territorial instinct with this placement. These individuals feel highly protective of their home and personal space and may become aggressive when that space is intruded upon. The influence of Mars here can also manifest physically and emotionally. Health issues such as chest pain, acidity, asthma, heartburn, and breathing problems are common due to Mars' fiery nature disturbing the peace and balance of the 4th house. The emotional turbulence brought by Mars energy often disrupts mental peace, as individuals struggle to find calm and contentment in their home environment. Mars here reflects a restless, reactive temperament, making these individuals prone to anger and emotional outbursts. Over time, unexpressed anger may lead to mental stress, anxiety, and even depression. It is crucial for individuals with this placement to manage their aggression constructively through activities like exercise, meditation, and yoga. Pranayama, breathing exercises, can be particularly effective in calming Mars' fiery energy and bringing emotional balance. Mars aspects from the 4th house have far-reaching implications. The first aspect falls on the 7th house of marriage and partnerships, which can create tension and conflicts in relationships. This position can delay marriage, create difficulties in marital life, or result in aggressive interactions with the spouse. To maintain harmony, the individual must learn to manage their temper and avoid dominating their partner. The second aspect is on the 10th house of career and profession. This aspect brings assertiveness, ambition, and drive to one's professional life, encouraging the individual to dominate their field and work hard toward achieving success. Careers related to real estate, construction, or defense sectors are particularly favorable for these individuals. However, this placement can also make them prone to workplace conflicts or clashes with authority figures due to their competitive nature. The final aspect of Mars is on the 11th house of gains, social circles, and achievements. This aspect can create fluctuations in income and financial stability, as Mars tends to bring highs and lows in earnings. While there is potential for financial gains, impulsive or risky decisions may lead to losses. Therefore, a calculated approach to managing finances is essential. The psychological impact of Mars in the 4th house is profound. Individuals may carry unresolved emotional scars from their upbringing, especially if they experienced violence, parental discord, or excessive discipline. This can result in suppressed anger or resentment, which manifests in adulthood as reactive or vengeful behavior. These individuals may also have a tendency to act impulsively when hurt emotionally, which can worsen their relationships with family or loved ones. Mars here often instills a strong desire for independence, as individuals seek to break free from oppressive or stifling home environments. If Mars is afflicted, there can also be destructive tendencies, such as addiction to smoking, alcohol, or other harmful habits that aggravate health issues. These individuals may struggle with maintaining emotional connections, as their defensive nature can alienate others. On the positive side, Mars in the 4th house gives individuals immense courage, willpower, and resilience. They have a natural ability to confront challenges head-on, and are not afraid to fight for their goals. If they channel their energy into productive pursuits, such as building a stable home or excelling in real estate ventures, they can achieve significant success. They may also develop a deep passion for physical activities, sports, or fitness, which can serve as an outlet for their pent-up energy. Mars here also encourages individuals to be self-reliant and resourceful, as they often learn to navigate life independently from an early age. The 4th house being connected to the heart and chest also symbolizes emotional vulnerability. Individuals with Mars here may experience heartbreak or emotional turmoil, particularly related to their family or mother. They must consciously work toward healing these wounds and developing emotional stability. Practicing forgiveness, especially toward family members, can help them release suppressed anger and resentment. It is also advisable for them to maintain a harmonious home environment by avoiding confrontations and conflicts. In extreme cases, Mars in the 4th house, especially if afflicted by Saturn, Rahu, or Ketu, can create serious challenges. These individuals may face family disputes, property-related conflicts, or accidents within the home. They may also struggle with emotional instability, which can manifest as aggressive or reckless behavior. If the Moon, the natural significator of the fourth house, is weak or afflicted, the individual may feel emotionally disconnected from their mother or family. In such cases, seeking counseling or emotional support is essential to address unresolved trauma or psychological issues. Overall, Mars in the fourth house brings both challenges and opportunities. While the aggressive energy of Mars can disturb peace and harmony within the home, it also bestows immense drive, ambition, and determination. Through self-awareness and discipline, these individuals can transform Mars' fiery energy into a force for growth and stability, both in their personal and professional lives. Mars in the fifth house of a birth chart in astrology brings a fiery, dynamic, and assertive energy to the areas connected with creativity, education, romance, children, and speculative ventures. The fifth house represents one's creative expression, love for life, hobbies, and talents, while Mars, being the planet of energy, action, and aggression, infuses these themes with its relentless drive. The result is an individual who approaches fifth house matters with vigor and a competitive spirit. But the same energy can create challenges, especially in relationships and emotional stability. In the area of creativity and hobbies, Mars in the fifth house makes individuals highly energetic and passionate about self-expression. Whether it's art, sports, or other creative outlets, they possess the drive to excel and dominate. This placement is excellent for athletes, as Mars provides the physical energy, courage, and perseverance needed to succeed in competitive sports. Such individuals often enjoy physical activities and might even take up careers in areas requiring stamina and willpower, like athletics or fitness. Beyond sports, their hobbies can include adventurous or risky pursuits, such as stock trading, gambling, or speculative businesses. Mars gives them the boldness to take risks and act decisively in these areas, but its impulsive nature can also lead to significant losses if the risks are not calculated. Mars' influence on education in the fifth house highlights a strong drive for academic competition. These individuals are not content with mediocrity. They thrive in challenging educational environments and love proving their intellectual dominance. They might excel in technical or engineering fields, mathematics, and sciences, as Mars governs analytical and mechanical skills. However, their aggressive approach can sometimes create issues, as they may become overly competitive, seeking to outperform peers rather than focus on genuine learning. This can cause stress or clashes with classmates or teachers, especially if Mars is afflicted by malefic aspects. Romantic relationships can be intense and challenging with Mars in the fifth house. The same passion and energy that fuel creativity and drive also make these individuals assertive and demanding in their romantic lives. They approach love with an expectation of excitement, drama, and reciprocity, often becoming frustrated if their partner does not match their intensity. Mars' impulsive and sometimes aggressive nature can result in frequent arguments or conflicts, especially if the relationship lacks emotional stability. Ego clashes and a desire to dominate the partner can lead to breakups or strained connections. Mars' fiery influence makes individuals prone to short-lived romances, where the initial passion fades quickly. This placement teaches them the importance of patience, compromise, and emotional balance in love. When it comes to children, Mars in the fifth house creates a strong connection between the individual and their offspring. Their children may inherit the assertive and competitive traits of Mars, displaying great energy and drive from an early age. However, the relationship with children can be filled with conflict, as Mars tends to bring a dominating and disciplinary approach to parenting. The individual may have high expectations of their children, pushing them to succeed in academics, sports, or other competitive fields. While this can motivate the children to achieve greatness, it can also create resentment or strain if the pressure becomes overwhelming. Mars' influence on the fifth house suggests that the first child, in particular, may face cuts, bruises, or injuries due to their active and adventurous nature. If benefic planets like Jupiter aspect the fifth house, the conflicts can be mitigated, leading to a healthier and more supportive relationship. Physically, the fifth house governs the stomach and digestive system, and Mars' fiery nature can manifest as issues related to acidity, indigestion, or ulcers. Women with this placement may face complications during childbirth, such as the need for surgical intervention or C-sections, especially if Mars is conjunct Ketu or afflicted by other malefics. Heat-related health problems, or hormonal imbalances, are also common for women with Mars in this position. To balance Mars' energy and reduce its impact on physical health, individuals are advised to hydrate, maintain a cooling diet, and practice calming activities like yoga and pranayama. Mars' aspect on the 8th house of secrecy, transformation, and occult sciences provides these individuals with the courage and determination to explore hidden knowledge. They may develop a keen interest in subjects like occults, astrology, or metaphysics, using their analytical skills and determination to uncover life's mysteries. The 8th house also relates to sudden events, and Mars' aspect here gives them the resilience to face challenges and transformations with courage. However, if Mars is afflicted, there is a tendency to experience abrupt disruptions or crises, especially related to relationships or financial matters. The next aspect of Mars falls on the 11th house of gains, earnings, and social networks. Individuals with this placement have a strong desire to succeed financially and are highly ambitious about their goals. They tend to compete with peers and aspire to achieve greater wealth or recognition than others in their social circle. Mars here gives them the drive and energy to pursue their desires aggressively, which can lead to success in careers involving entrepreneurship, investments, or leadership roles. However, their dominating approach can create conflicts in friendships or professional networks, as they may come across as overly assertive or demanding. Financial gains may also fluctuate, as their impulsive decisions can result in both significant profits and sudden losses. Mars' final aspect on the 12th house of spirituality, foreign lands, and isolation creates a complex dynamic. These individuals may experience periods of fluctuating interest in spiritual practices, as Mars' aggressive energy clashes with the serene and introspective nature of the 12th house. While they may seek spiritual growth or foreign travel, their restless energy can make it difficult to fully commit to these pursuits. Mars here can also lead to expenses related to travel, health, or legal matters, so careful planning is necessary to avoid financial strain. Overall, Mars in the 5th house creates a dynamic personality with a strong drive for achievement, creativity, and excitement. These individuals thrive in competitive environments, whether in academics, sports, or speculative ventures. However, the same energy can lead to challenges in relationships, parenting, and emotional stability. To harness Mars energy positively, they must learn to balance their assertiveness with patience and empathy. Practicing mindfulness, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and channeling their energy into constructive pursuits will help them achieve success while minimizing conflicts and disruptions. Mars in the 6th house in astrology is a potent and dynamic placement due to the planet's aggressive, fiery nature, finding a suitable arena in the house of obstacles, enemies, diseases, and competition. The 6th house, being both the Dasthana, house of challenges, and Upachaya, house of growth over time, provides Mars with the perfect environment to exercise its innate warrior qualities. Mars thrives when confronted with adversity, and here, it becomes a force of resilience, determination, and strength. From a work and professional perspective, Mars in the 6th house creates individuals with an indomitable spirit who excel in competitive and high-pressure environments. They possess a natural ability to confront challenges head-on and defeat opponents, which makes them highly suitable for careers that require courage, decisiveness, and aggression. This placement is particularly strong for all professions that demand a fighting spirit and the ability to tackle adversity. In the workplace, such individuals are fiercely competitive and may often find themselves embroiled in arguments or disputes with colleagues. However, their work ethic and dedication ensure that they rise above the competition over time, as the Upachaya nature of the 6th house ensures growth and eventual success after initial struggles. The 6th house also governs diseases and health. Mars here brings immense vitality and physical energy, enabling the native to combat illnesses and maintain good health. However, due to its fiery nature, Mars can also cause inflammation, heat-related issues, and problems in the digestive tract, particularly in the small intestine. Such individuals may suffer from acidity, ulcers, or an overly fast metabolism, leading to rapid digestion and frequent hunger. In extreme cases, particularly during challenging planetary periods, Mars may trigger surgeries or injuries related to the abdomen. Women with this placement are advised to take extra care during pregnancy, as there may be complications such as C-sections, especially if Mars is in conjunction with malefics like Ketu. Mars in the 6th house also influences relationships with enemies and rivals. It grants the native the courage and stamina to confront adversaries head-on, often emerging victorious in disputes, competitions, and legal battles. However, this placement can also attract particularly aggressive or hostile enemies who will stop at nothing to challenge the native. If Mars or the ruler of the 6th house is afflicted, these rivalries can escalate into physical confrontations or prolonged court cases. Nonetheless, the native possesses the stamina to withstand such conflicts and will rarely back down from a challenge. This fighting spirit, when directed constructively, enables the individual to overcome life's obstacles and grow stronger through adversity. Financially, the 6th house governs debts and loans, and Mars here can create a tendency to take on financial burdens, often impulsively. While such individuals possess the energy and drive to work hard and repay their debts, they must exercise caution when taking loans, ensuring they have a concrete repayment plan. Failure to manage finances properly can lead to mounting debts and financial stress. On the positive side, Mars placement in the 6th house can also generate wealth through competitive professions or by overcoming adversities. Such natives are not afraid of hard work and often rise to prominent positions in their chosen fields through sheer determination. Mars aspects from the 6th house further amplify its influence across key areas of life. Its 4th aspect on the 9th house can create a dogmatic or rigid approach to religious and philosophical beliefs. These individuals may have strong opinions and may challenge traditional teachings or gurus, often seeking to assert their dominance in intellectual or spiritual debates. This aspect can also indicate a strained relationship with mentors, as Mars' aggressive nature can cause clashes or disagreements. Mars' 7th aspect on the 12th house influences matters related to expenses, spirituality, and foreign lands. The native may experience fluctuations in their spiritual interests, often oscillating between intense devotion and periods of disinterest. Financially, they may be prone to impulsive spending, leading to challenges in managing their expenses. On the positive side, this aspect also provides the energy to tackle hidden enemies or obstacles, which may manifest as secret opponents, legal issues, or inner struggles. Finally, Mars' 8th aspect on the 1st house or ascendant directly impacts the native's personality, health, and approach to life. This aspect grants immense courage and determination but can also make the individual impulsive, aggressive, and prone to taking unnecessary risks. Such individuals may struggle to find their life path in their early years, as the energy of Mars may lead them to act before thinking. However, as they mature, they learn to harness this energy constructively, eventually emerging as strong and determined individuals. From a karmic perspective, Mars in the 6th house is a placement of tremendous strength and courage, but it also carries a burden of challenges that must be overcome. The native's life may involve constant battles, whether against enemies, health issues, or financial struggles, but these challenges serve as opportunities for growth and transformation. This placement teaches the native the value of perseverance, self-discipline, and hard work. Over time, as they learn to channel Mars' energy constructively, they can overcome even the most daunting obstacles and achieve success. The 6th house also represents pets, and Mars here can indicate aggressive or energetic animals. Natives with this placement may experience scratches, bites, or injuries caused by pets, particularly dogs or cats. In relationships, Mars in the 6th house can cause dominant struggles, particularly with maternal relatives such as uncles or aunts. The native may experience strained relationships with these family members, often due to disagreements or competitive dynamics. Similarly, relationships with siblings may also be challenging, as Mars' influence can create rivalry and a lack of harmony. To balance the fiery energy of Mars in the 6th house, individuals are advised to engage in regular physical exercise and adopt a disciplined lifestyle. Physical activities such as sports, martial arts, or yoga can help channel Mars' energy positively, promoting both physical and mental well-being. Maintaining a balanced diet and avoiding excessively spicy or acidic foods can help mitigate health issues related to Mars' fiery nature. Overall, Mars in the 6th house is a placement of immense power, courage, and determination. While it brings challenges related to enemies, health, and financial matters, it also provides the native with the strength to overcome these obstacles and emerge victorious. This placement creates individuals who are natural fighters, capable of tackling adversity with resilience and grit. With time and maturity, as they learn to harness Mars' energy constructively, they can achieve great success and leave a lasting impact in their chosen fields. By channeling their aggressive tendencies into productive pursuits and maintaining a disciplined lifestyle, they can transform the challenges of the 6th house into opportunities for growth, strength, and triumph. Mars in the 7th house is a dynamic and complex placement in astrology that significantly influences relationships, marriage, partnerships, and business dealings. The 7th house represents the other, be it your spouse, life partner, business associate, or the general public. When Mars occupies this house, its fiery, action-oriented nature intensifies the qualities of this domain, leading to both challenges and opportunities depending on the maturity of Mars and the overall condition of the birth chart. This placement creates a strong need for competition and bravery in partnerships. Whether it's marriage or business, you are likely to feel as though you must prove yourself before entering into unions. In relationships, you may find that your spouse is bold, dynamic, independent, and always on the move. Mars' influence often brings an assertive, if not aggressive, partner who values freedom and dislikes being controlled. This partner will likely be highly protective of you, standing up for your interests in difficult situations. However, this same bold nature can become a double-edged sword if dominance and control come into play, as clashes of ego are a common theme with this Mars placement. The presence of Mars in the 7th house, a well-known condition in astrology associated with relationship difficulties. Mars' fiery, warrior-like energy manifests as conflict, hostility, or frustration within the marriage. If Mars is immature, typically before the age of 28 to 31, marriage may face significant challenges, including anger issues, disagreements, or even separations. However, if Mars is mature and the partner is equally energetic, this placement can be transformed into a source of strength. In such cases, the spouse becomes a protector and motivator, contributing to mutual growth. Mars aspects from the 7th house further shape your life and personality. Its first aspect on the 10th house of career indicates a dominating and assertive presence in the workplace. You are likely to stand out as a leader but may face clashes with authority figures such as bosses or senior colleagues. This aspect can sometimes create tensions with the father as well, particularly if career ambitions or differing values come into play. The second aspect of Mars falls on the 1st house, making you highly energetic, action-oriented, and physically active. You come across as confident, even intimidating to others. People may perceive you as overly aggressive or assertive, even when your true nature is more tempered. Mars here fuels a strong sense of self-respect, which, if unchecked, can blur into ego, creating friction with others, especially in partnerships. The final aspect of Mars on the 2nd house introduces financial fluctuations, particularly in your early years. Mars' impulsive nature may lead to reckless spending or decisions that affect wealth stability. Speech becomes a critical area to watch. Harsh, aggressive, or ill-timed words can cause discord within the family or relationships. This placement teaches the importance of cultivating a balanced approach to communication and finances. In business, Mars in the 7th house can be advantageous. Its assertive and competitive energy provides the drive to succeed in partnerships and entrepreneurial ventures. You possess a natural ability to dominate and negotiate effectively, which can help you thrive in competitive environments. However, conflicts with business partners are likely unless there is a shared understanding of boundaries and responsibilities. Disagreements may arise due to power struggles or differing visions, making it important to establish clear agreements. One notable aspect of this Mars placement is its influence on your perception and energy in relationships. The 7th house represents how others perceive you, and Mars here creates an impression of someone fiery, headstrong, and unyielding. Even if you are not inherently aggressive, others may keep their distance, fearing confrontation. This can lead to misunderstandings, particularly in marriage or close relationships, where your independence may be misinterpreted as a lack of commitment or cooperation. From a physical perspective, the 7th house governs the navel area and reproductive organs. Mars' presence here makes you prone to inflammation, injuries, or discomfort in these regions. Mars' influence on the second-born child, the 7th house representing the 3rd from the 5th house, suggests that this child may display a strong-willed, athletic, or even combative nature. In marriage, the self-respect of both partners tends to be very high under this placement. While mutual respect is essential for a healthy relationship, it can sometimes escalate into power struggles if either partner is willing to compromise. If handled positively, this dynamic can create a highly supportive partnership where both individuals contribute equally to the family's growth and development. For women, Mars in the 7th house highlights themes of independence and empowerment, often challenging traditional societal roles. Women with this placement may resist conforming to gender stereotypes, demanding equality and fairness in their relationships. However, this assertiveness can be perceived negatively in conservative or traditional settings, leading to conflicts within marriage or family dynamics. On a spiritual level, Mars in the 7th house encourages you to direct your energy toward helping others. Mars is a planet of action, and its placement here suggests that part of your karmic duty is to serve society, whether through education, support, or other means. When Mars functions positively, this placement can bring blessings and fulfill significant desires during your lifetime. However, if Mars is severely afflicted, through negative aspects, conjunctions, or placement in a difficult sign, it may lead to separations, hostile relationships, or even abuse. Overall, Mars in the 7th house is a placement of both challenge and potential. It infuses relationships and partnerships with passion, drive, and energy, but it also brings a need to manage anger, ego, and dominance. While conflicts are likely, this placement can lead to great success in marriage, business, and personal development if harnessed constructively. By cultivating patience, improving communication, and channeling Mars energy toward positive pursuits, you can transform this dynamic placement into a source of empowerment and achievement. Mars in the 8th house in astrology represents a dynamic and intense placement, as it combines the raw, fiery energy of Mars with the transformative and mysterious attributes of the 8th house. This house governs secrets, occult sciences, death, rebirth, inheritance, sudden events, joint wealth, and deep psychological experiences. Mars, being the planet of action, courage, aggression, and vitality, finds itself in an arena that demands both restraint and resilience. People with Mars in the 8th house are natural fighters, often navigating some of life's most turbulent and chaotic experiences. They are resilient individuals who face struggles head-on, rarely shying away from challenges. This placement bestows immense courage, as Mars energy is forced to channel itself through the 8th house themes, often manifesting as strength under pressure or the ability to overcome severe obstacles. Many of these individuals may not realize their full strength until they are pushed to their limits, a trait that often makes them warriors in their personal battles. Their karmic lesson, however, lies in developing self-control, patience, and the ability to manage their desires and impulses. The 8th house's association with secrets and mysteries blends well with Mars' inquisitive nature, making these individuals drawn to the occult sciences, mysticism, and astrology. They are often fascinated by life's deeper meanings and are naturally inclined toward researching hidden truths. Many with this placement excel in careers related to research, investigation, and fields requiring exploration of the unknown. Professions such as detectives, scientists, researchers, mystics, or healers suit their personality. Their determination to uncover secrets gives them the power to delve into esoteric knowledge and metaphysical studies. One of the key aspects of this placement is the influence Mars exerts on relationships and joint wealth. Mars' 4th aspect on the 11th house of gains can give them a dominating and ambitious attitude toward earning money. They may aggressively pursue financial success and be determined to achieve their goals, often working tirelessly to secure gains. However, this drive can sometimes manifest as competitiveness or dominance in social circles. The 7th aspect of Mars falls on the 2nd house of family and speech, which can create a challenging environment in their early childhood. These individuals may have grown up in households where there was anger, aggression, or a lack of emotional peace. This can affect their speech patterns, making them sharp-tongued, direct, or prone to arguments if they do not learn to control their emotions. Mars' 8th house placement also impacts their personal relationships, particularly regarding in-laws. Conflicts or tensions with the spouse's family, especially the youngest sibling, are common. The competitive and aggressive energy of Mars can manifest as verbal disagreements or power struggles. If afflicted, this placement advises caution in sharing finances or joint assets with a spouse or partner, as issues around control, manipulation, or financial losses can arise. Keeping bank accounts and assets separate is often recommended to avoid disputes. The 8th house governs the reproductive organs, surgery, and sudden injuries, and Mars, being a planet of force and aggression, can indicate a predisposition to health issues related to these areas. Individuals with this placement may experience problems such as piles, acidity, inflammation, or injuries to the lower abdomen. They are also more prone to surgeries, particularly related to the reproductive system, depending on other planetary influences. This placement highlights the need for a disciplined lifestyle, including proper diet, exercise, and practices that reduce excess heat in the body. On a psychological level, Mars in the 8th house creates individuals with immense mental strength and determination. The 8th house represents the depths of the psyche, where unresolved issues, fears, and traumas reside. Mars' placement here gives these individuals the willpower to face and overcome deep psychological challenges. They are fighters not only in the physical sense but also in the emotional and mental areas. The transformative energy of the 8th house allows them to rise like a phoenix, emerging stronger after periods of turmoil or personal crises. However, if afflicted, Mars can lead to intense anger, frustration, and a tendency to hold grudges. They may struggle with impulsive behavior, which can manifest as outbursts or destructive tendencies if not controlled. Mars in the 8th house also enhances the individual's magnetism and sexual energy. This placement gives them a powerful aura that draws others to them, often without them even realizing it. They possess an enigmatic charm and a raw appeal that is hard to ignore. This is particularly true when Mars forms conjunctions with benefic planets like Jupiter, amplifying their magnetic abilities and confidence. However, this sexual energy must be channeled constructively, as mismanagement can lead to unhealthy relationships or power struggles in intimacy. Financially, Mars in the 8th house can bring gains through inheritance, joint ventures, or resources connected to land, minerals, and underground assets. They may inherit property, wealth, or ancestral land, particularly if the 2nd house is strong. However, these individuals should exercise caution in trusting friends or business associates, as betrayals or disputes related to money can occur. The influence of Mars in this house extends to the individual's relationship with death and transformation. The 8th house is associated with sudden events, and Mars can create situations where life changes abruptly, often forcing the individual to adapt and grow. While this placement can sometimes indicate a sudden or unexpected death, it more often signifies a metaphorical death, periods of intense transformation where the old self is stripped away to make room for growth and rebirth. Spiritually, Mars in the 8th house pushes individuals to explore paths that require discipline, focus, and physical effort. Practices like yoga, martial arts, and other physical activities that promote inner strength and resilience are beneficial. Other practices that involve managing pain, such as fasting or austerities, can yield profound spiritual results. These individuals are capable of immense spiritual growth if they learn to harness Mars' energy constructively. Overall, Mars in the 8th house creates individuals who are courageous, intense, and deeply transformative. They are born fighters who face life's challenges head-on and often emerge stronger and wiser. However, their path requires discipline, restraint, and a conscious effort to channel their energy positively. By embracing practices that balance their fiery nature and developing emotional maturity, they can unlock their full potential, achieving both material and spiritual success. Mars in the 9th house of a birth chart manifests dynamic and intense energy in areas related to religion, philosophy, spirituality, long-distance travel, and higher learning. This placement signifies an individual who is assertive in their beliefs and driven to pursue a deeper understanding of life through experiences and exploration. However, the intensity of Mars also introduces challenges, particularly in relationships with mentors, spiritual guides, and familial figures like the father. Individuals with Mars in the 9th house are passionate about their philosophical and religious pursuits, often developing strong convictions that they defend fervently. This fiery approach can lead to clashes with others who hold differing beliefs or perspectives. Such individuals are known to question authority figures, including teachers, mentors, or gurus, often challenging their guidance in favor of forming their unique set of principles. While this independence of thought is admirable, it can sometimes create friction, particularly in traditional or hierarchical settings. The 9th house also governs long-distance travel and cross-cultural experiences. Mars' placement here indicates a strong drive to explore foreign lands and expand horizons. However, the aggressive and impulsive nature of Mars can lead to risky decisions while traveling. These individuals must exercise caution and preparedness when venturing abroad, as unforeseen challenges might arise. This placement also fosters a competitive spirit, particularly in academic or religious environments, where they may excel but also encounter conflicts with peers or instructors. Mars' 4th aspect on the 12th house enhances the spiritual undertones of this placement, but with a dominant edge. These individuals may impose their spiritual beliefs on others or spend excessively on spiritual pursuits or travel. They might also experience internal struggles with their spiritual values, oscillating between rigid adherence and rebellious questioning. The connection to the 12th house also indicates the potential for foreign settlement, where they might find solace or opportunities for personal growth. Mars' aspect on the 3rd house adds determination and energy to self-effort, communication, and business endeavors. Such individuals are enterprising and courageous in pursuing their goals, but may adopt a domineering approach that can strain relationships with siblings or collaborators. This aspect underscores their ability to take bold initiatives but advises them to temper aggression with diplomacy. The 8th aspect of Mars also influences the 4th house, which governs home, mother, and emotional security. This can result in a turbulent relationship with the mother, marked by misunderstandings or emotional distance. Living away from the homeland often brings greater peace and opportunities for these individuals. The connection to the 4th house also highlights fluctuations in their domestic life, where they might struggle to find stability. Mars in the 9th house often reflects a family background steeped in values, traditions, and social recognition. These individuals inherit a sense of pride in their family's status and may feel compelled to uphold or elevate it. If Mars is positively placed, they are likely to succeed in enhancing their family's reputation, particularly as they age. Conversely, a negatively placed Mars can tarnish the family name, drawing criticism or scandal. In such cases, careful management of actions and decisions is essential to mitigate negative outcomes. The relationship with the father plays a significant role in shaping these individuals' personalities and beliefs. Mars placement indicates that the father may exhibit martial or aggressive tendencies, working in fields like the military, law enforcement, or sports. While the father may serve as a source of strength and guidance, conflicts can arise due to differing ideologies or high expectations. In some cases, an afflicted Mars might indicate hardships or estrangement from the father, emphasizing the need for reconciliation and understanding in this relationship. These individuals derive spiritual strength and motivation through their engagement with religious practices, such as prayers, hymns, or studying sacred texts. However, their aggressive pursuit of spirituality can sometimes alienate others, particularly if they become intolerant or dismissive of differing beliefs. To harness the positive potential of Mars in the 9th house, they should focus on cultivating respect for diverse perspectives and using their energy constructively to inspire others. In terms of luck and fortune, Mars in the 9th house empowers individuals to create their opportunities through action and perseverance. Rather than relying on fate, they take a proactive approach to achieving their goals. This placement also signifies resilience in overcoming obstacles and turning challenges into stepping stones for success. However, injuries or physical challenges, particularly in the thighs or buttocks, may occasionally impede their progress. They should be mindful of their physical well-being and avoid overexertion. Mars in the 9th house also influences career and professional aspirations, particularly in fields requiring physical energy, courage, or leadership. These individuals thrive in roles that allow them to assert their independence and make impactful decisions. Their competitive nature can drive them to excel, but they should guard against becoming overly combative or confrontational in the workplace. When interpreting this placement, it is crucial to consider the broader context of the birth chart, including the sign and nakshatra Mars occupies, as well as any conjunctions or aspects it forms with other planets. For instance, a benefic influence from Jupiter can mitigate Mars' aggressive tendencies, fostering a more balanced and constructive expression of energy. On the other hand, malefic influences from Rahu or Ketu can exacerbate fanaticism or impulsivity, leading to negative outcomes. On a remedial note, those with Mars in the 9th house are advised to channel their energy into constructive activities like physical exercises, pilgrimages, or charitable deeds. Helping others travel to spiritual places, engaging in disciplined spiritual practices, or offering services to mentors or fatherly figures can mitigate Mars' negative effects. Living away from home during certain phases of life can also help balance this placement's energy and bring peace. Maintaining open communication and gratitude toward guides and mentors fosters mutual respect and learning. Cultivating an attitude of tolerance and respect for differing beliefs enhances relationships and personal growth. Overall, Mars in the 9th house is a placement that offers immense potential for personal growth and achievement. By embracing the positive attributes of Mars, courage, determination, and passion, while tempering its aggressive tendencies, individuals can lead purposeful lives that inspire others and contribute to the greater good. Mars in the 10th house is a powerful placement that profoundly impacts an individual's career, personal relationships, and overall approach to life. In astrology, the 10th house represents career, societal karma, authority, fame, and fatherly influences. Mars, as a planet of energy, action, and ambition, achieves its directional strength, Digbala, in the 10th house, making this one of its most auspicious placements. Here, Mars fuels the native with an unparalleled drive to excel, coupled with a strong desire to achieve recognition and authority in their chosen field. One of the most defining aspects of Mars in the 10th house is the native's intense ambition and career orientation. These individuals are known for their passion, focus, and unrelenting pursuit of success. Whether they work in traditional authoritative roles like government or management, or unconventional fields such as coding or entrepreneurship, they tend to command respect in their domain. Authority, in this context, stems not from their job title but from their expertise and mastery, which makes their opinions valuable in decision-making processes. Such individuals often thrive in competitive environments and are drawn to professions requiring physical exertion or mental resilience, such as the military, police, firefighting, or other roles involving strategy and discipline. Mars' exaltation in Capricorn, the natural 10th house of the Zodiac, further amplifies its effectiveness. This exaltation represents Mars' ability to channel its raw energy into structured and disciplined action. Natives with this placement are typically proactive and self-motivated. They rarely sit idle and are known for their dynamic personalities, which often make them natural leaders. However, their fiery and aggressive approach can sometimes lead to confrontations, especially in professional settings where competition is intense. While their assertiveness helps them tackle challenges head-on, it can also create conflicts with colleagues, bosses, or authority figures if not balanced with diplomacy. The native's relationship with their father or father figures may also be marked by dominance or struggles for control. While the father may play a supportive role, especially if benefic planets like Jupiter aspect Mars, there is often a complex dynamic of mutual respect interspersed with disagreements. This placement may also signify that the father or paternal figures have a significant influence on the native's career or personal growth. Alternatively, challenges in this relationship could drive the native to assert their independence and carve their own path in life. Mars aspects play a crucial role in shaping the native's life. Its fourth aspect on the first house makes the individual highly energetic, proactive, and resilient. These natives find it difficult to remain passive and are always seeking ways to channel their energy productively. They tend to have strong physical constitutions and may excel in sports or fitness activities. However, the same energy can manifest as impatience or restlessness, leading to impulsive decisions if not carefully managed. The seventh aspect on the fourth house can bring turbulence to the home environment. These individuals often exhibit a dominating attitude within their family or household, which can create friction with close relatives, particularly their mother. The home atmosphere might occasionally be tense due to the native's aggressive demeanor. This aspect also suggests that the native may invest significant energy into creating a stable and secure domestic life, but challenges may arise due to their controlling tendencies. Mars' 8th aspect on the 5th house influences the native's relationships with children, romantic partners, and education. Love relationships tend to be tumultuous, with a pattern of intensity and conflict. The native may experience multiple breakups or instability in romantic matters, often stemming from their assertive nature and high expectations. If Venus or the 7th house is afflicted, these challenges may extend into married life. Nonetheless, the native's passion and dedication can help them overcome these difficulties with time and maturity. One of the unique features of Mars in the 10th house is its connection to problem solving. When positively aspect, this placement produces individuals who are natural troubleshooters. Their ability to think critically and act decisively makes them invaluable in crises. This is particularly evident in professions involving research, engineering, or innovation, where they may develop groundbreaking solutions or technologies. The synergy between Mars and Saturn in the natal chart can further enhance this quality, creating individuals who are disciplined, strategic, and capable of tackling large-scale challenges. Despite the remarkable career potential, Mars in the 10th house also carries certain vulnerabilities. The native must guard against overexertion and burnout, as their relentless pursuit of success can take a toll on their physical and mental health. They are particularly prone to knee injuries, fractures, and other ailments related to the lower body. Maintaining a consistent fitness routine and balancing their aggressive tendencies with mindfulness practices can mitigate these risks. Fitness is especially crucial for these individuals, as their physical vitality directly influences their career success and overall well-being. As the native matures, the influence of Mars in the 10th house often pushes them towards spirituality. The aggressive and materialistic tendencies of their younger years gradually give way to a deeper understanding of life's purpose. Disappointments in love or personal relationships may serve as a catalyst for this spiritual awakening. Over time, they may come to view their professional achievements not as an end in themselves but as a means to contribute to the greater good. This shift in perspective can lead to a more balanced and fulfilling life, especially if Mars is supported by benefic aspects. While Mars in the 10th house brings tremendous potential for success, its placement also requires careful management of its intense energy. When afflicted, Mars can create hurdles in the form of frequent job changes, conflicts with authority figures, or a scattered approach to career goals. To harness the full benefits of this placement, the native should focus on cultivating patience, emotional intelligence, and a sense of humility. By channeling their energy constructively and aligning their actions with their higher purpose, they can achieve not only professional success but also personal growth and contentment. Mars in the 11th house of a birth chart is a fascinating placement that reveals both immense potential and significant challenges. This house is closely linked to elder siblings, large organizations, social networks, gains, and aspirations. Mars, a fiery and action-oriented planet, introduces energy, ambition, and a competitive edge to these areas. When Mars occupies the 11th house, it channels its assertive energy into achieving goals and pursuing aspirations. Individuals with this placement are typically highly motivated to attain their dreams and financial objectives. Their dynamic nature enables them to lead group activities and social endeavors, often making them pivotal figures in their networks. They exhibit a go-getter attitude, ready to take risks and act decisively to secure gains. This drive often translates to entrepreneurship or leadership roles within large organizations, where their proactive mindset and resilience can lead to significant accomplishments. However, the intense energy Mars brings to the 11th house can also create friction in relationships, particularly with elder siblings and friends. Power struggles or competitive dynamics with siblings are common, stemming from a perception of rivalry or dominance. Similarly, friendships may be marked by misunderstandings or jealousy, as Mars tends to amplify ego clashes and disagreements. These individuals may find themselves navigating turbulent social dynamics, often needing to learn patience and diplomacy to maintain harmonious relationships. Financially, Mars in the 11th house offers a double-edged sword. The placement enhances a person's ability to generate wealth, often through multiple income streams such as investments, property, or commission-based ventures. Mars' aspect on the 2nd house, which governs wealth and family, further emphasizes a strong focus on accumulating resources. However, the same energy can lead to impulsive financial decisions, a tendency toward gambling, or an inclination to seek quick profits. If not tempered by the stabilizing influence of other planets, this impulsiveness can result in losses. The 11th house also governs large organizations and societal causes, and Mars' placement here infuses individuals with a strong sense of purpose to serve others. They are often drawn to fight for the underprivileged, advocating for social justice, or engaging in charitable activities. Their assertive approach to helping society can bring recognition and fulfillment, as they channel their energy into causes larger than themselves. However, this same intensity can sometimes alienate others if they appear overly aggressive or unyielding in their methods. Mars aspects from the 11th house further shape its influence. Its 4th aspect on the 2nd house enhances the individual's authoritative voice and leadership abilities. They may use their speech to inspire or command, often excelling in fields where communication and persuasion are key. However, their words can sometimes come across as harsh or domineering, potentially straining family relationships or creating misunderstandings in social interactions. Mars' 7th aspect on the 5th house of education, creativity, and children adds another layer of complexity. It makes individuals highly competitive in sports and education, often excelling in these areas due to their relentless drive. They may also exhibit a strong protective instinct toward their children or romantic partners, although this can sometimes manifest as being overly controlling. Striking a balance between support and independence is essential to maintain healthy relationships in this sphere. The 8th aspect of Mars on the 6th house introduces challenges in professional and health-related areas. While this aspect can reduce the influence of enemies, debts, and diseases, it also creates a certain instability in work environments and relationships with colleagues. Sudden health issues, particularly injuries to the lower legs, may arise, necessitating caution in physical activities. This aspect reinforces the tendency to confront challenges head-on, often leading to success in overcoming adversities. One intriguing facet of Mars in the 11th house is its impact on the individual's voice and public persona. The fiery energy of Mars lends a distinctive authority to their speech, making it powerful and commanding. This trait can be an asset in leadership roles or public speaking, where their words carry weight and influence. At the same time, it's important for them to temper the aggressive undertones in their voice to avoid coming across as intimidating or overbearing. This placement also influences how individuals approach their dreams and aspirations. They exhibit a relentless pursuit of their goals, often setting ambitious targets and striving to achieve them with unwavering determination. However, this can sometimes lead to impatience or frustration when results are not immediate. Cultivating perseverance and learning to appreciate the journey, rather than just the destination, can help balance their intense drive. Mars' interaction with other planets in the 11th house significantly affects its outcomes. If benefic planets like Jupiter cast a positive aspect, the individual may enjoy a more harmonious relationship with elder siblings and gain support from their social networks. Conversely, malefic influences or afflictions can exacerbate conflicts and impulsiveness. For instance, a conjunction with Rahu may heighten the individual's desire for quick gains, increasing their risk of financial missteps. Mars in the 11th house implies that the individual possesses a natural ability to overcome adversaries and emerge unscathed from conflicts or legal disputes. While this trait is empowering, it also underscores the importance of channeling Mars energy constructively rather than using it for retribution or aggression. Mars placement here also highlights the importance of giving back to society. Serving others, especially through acts of kindness or charity, can help balance the fiery nature of Mars and bring positive karmic rewards. Overall, Mars in the 11th house is a placement of immense potential. It empowers individuals to achieve their goals, lead with authority, and advocate for societal change. However, the same energy demands careful management to avoid conflicts, impulsiveness, and strained relationships. By cultivating patience, mindfulness, and a spirit of service, these individuals can harness the fiery strength of Mars to create a fulfilling and impactful life. Mars in the 12th house in a birth chart brings complex and multifaceted energies that influence various dimensions of life. The 12th house, associated with losses, expenses, isolation, foreign lands, subconscious areas, and spirituality, sets the stage for Mars, the planet of energy, aggression, and action, to manifest in profound and often contradictory ways. This placement demands deliberate effort to balance its dynamic influences. Mars in the 12th house channels the native's energy toward areas connected to isolation and hidden areas. This can manifest in careers or activities related to hospitals, prisons, asylums, or even spiritual retreats, where action and effort are required behind the scenes. Natives with this placement may find themselves drawn to foreign lands, either for professional reasons or as a way of exploring new avenues of life. However, they must be vigilant about the expenditure of their resources, both physical and financial, as this placement often indicates heightened expenses and potential losses. The 12th house is fundamentally a house of dissolution, and even Mars, a planet known for its vigor, does not escape this nature. This placement can lead to a scattering of energy, making natives prone to burnout if they overextend themselves. They may pursue goals with passion but struggle to sustain their efforts, especially when faced with obstacles. Consequently, developing strategies to conserve and channel energy effectively becomes crucial. Activities such as meditation, yoga, and pranayama are particularly beneficial, helping to harmonize Mars' fiery nature with the contemplative tone of the 12th house. One prominent aspect of this placement is its influence on relationships and communication. Mars' aspect on the 3rd house of siblings and communication can make the native's speech direct and, at times, aggressive. This may lead to conflicts with siblings or peers, particularly if emotional control is not exercised. Similarly, Mars' aspect on the 7th house of marriage and partnerships can create instability in relationships. Natives may experience fluctuations in their marital life or find their partnerships marred by misunderstandings and power struggles. In extreme cases, this aspect can contribute to marital discord or even divorce if mitigating factors are not present in the chart. Mars' aspect on the 6th house of obstacles and disputes provides an interesting duality. While it equips natives with immense willpower and determination to overcome challenges, it also invites a host of struggles that require constant effort to resolve. This can make them formidable adversaries, capable of triumphing over adversities with courage and persistence. However, they must be cautious not to allow their combative tendencies to escalate unnecessary disputes. On a psychological level, Mars in the 12th house often indicates repressed anger or hidden aggression. Natives may suppress their frustrations, leading to emotional explosions when the pent-up energy becomes unbearable. This repression can also manifest as feelings of guilt or shame related to their anger, creating a sense of victimization. They may feel as though they are frequently subjected to the unwarranted aggression of others, further compounding their internal struggles. Addressing these emotional undercurrents is essential for their mental well-being. Therapy, self-reflection, and practices that encourage emotional release can be instrumental in fostering balance. This placement's connection to the subconscious mind is particularly significant. Natives may feel driven to explore the hidden areas of their psyche, delving into spiritual practices, or meditation to uncover deeper truths. For some, this quest may lead to profound spiritual awakening and a greater understanding of life's mysteries. However, for others, it can create a sense of being lost or overwhelmed by the vastness of the subconscious. Maintaining grounding practices and seeking guidance from mentors or spiritual teachers can help navigate this journey. Mars in the 12th house also highlights the theme of secret enemies. These individuals may face challenges from hidden adversaries whose actions can create unexpected obstacles. Awareness and vigilance are necessary to safeguard against sabotage. Natives must be cautious about harboring a vengeful attitude, as this can lead to unnecessary conflicts and further isolation. Physically, the placement of Mars in the 12th house can manifest in specific ways. The 12th house governs the feet, and natives with this placement may experience injuries or issues in this region, particularly during Mars dasha or subperiods. Engaging in physical activities that involve the feet, such as running or walking, can help channel Mars energy constructively. However, overexertion should be avoided to prevent burnout or physical harm. The 12th house also has associations with bedroom pleasures, and Mars, as a planet of passion, intensifies this aspect. Natives with Mars in the 12th house are often passionate and energetic lovers, surprising their partners with their stamina and drive in intimate settings. However, they should be mindful of maintaining emotional intimacy alongside physical passion, as the 12th house's isolating nature can create barriers to genuine connection. Mars in the 12th house can also point to karmic themes. It may indicate unresolved issues related to the misuse of power, property, or resources in past lives. Rectifying these karmic debts through acts of charity, restitution, or ethical living can help alleviate some of the challenges associated with this placement. For instance, returning things that does not rightfully belong to the native or engaging in selfless service can bring spiritual relief and balance. Another critical consideration for this placement is the impact of other planetary influences. If Mars is afflicted by malefic planets like Saturn, Rahu, or Ketu, the challenges associated with this placement can intensify. Such afflictions may lead to experiences of exile, imprisonment, or isolation, reflecting Mars' combative and restless nature in the 12th house. Conversely, positive aspects from benefic planets can mitigate these difficulties, providing opportunities for growth and transformation. To harness the potential of Mars in the 12th house, natives should focus on cultivating self-awareness and channeling their energy into constructive pursuits. Engaging in spiritual practices, balancing physical activity with rest, and addressing emotional wounds are essential steps in this process. By embracing the introspective and transformative qualities of the 12th house, they can turn challenges into opportunities for personal growth and self-realization. As we conclude this episode, please remember that these insights are based on Sidereal or Vedic Astrology, which accounts for the approximately 24-degree difference from the tropical zodiac. Individual predictions may vary, as every birth chart is unique. It's essential to consider your own birth chart when applying these general predictions to your personal circumstances. If you'd like personalized predictions for your specific zodiac sign or have questions about your astrological chart, feel free to reach out to us. Stay tuned for more astrological updates. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful astrology content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to sharing more astrological wisdom with you in the future. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep shining bright.